stress is building, my grades are dropping, but we're still chilling. We out, you're grinding, we out, you're hustling, we always vibing, we always flexing.
Cool! Dang, Lawrence, you've been dropping bars!
Thanks, dude, and you got a sick beat.
Yeah, that's why we're speech gods and speech co-captains.
Yeah, that's the spirit, my dude. Anyway, I hope all of you are as excited as us today, because we got some spicy stories to drop, such as club chartering during the pandemic, another Politicorner segment on California propositions, Halloween during quarantine, the ongoing LA City Council corruption scandal, and the introduction of esports in CIF. All of this is brought to you by the generous support of this week's sponsor, Sesame Grill.
Well, now that our audience is pumped up, let's give them an amazing welcome to Show 6. The weather is starting to cool down, and I realized that I don't have anything to keep myself warm during the winter. Luckily, for those who want to snuggle up like me, SMW is hosting a blanket and hoodie sale that will keep us warm and stylish during the colder times. Hoodies are $27 and blankets are $17. You can pre-order them at the link down below from October 19th to November 12th. And expect your merch to arrive between December 10th and 11th. Stay warm, Arcadia!
There's no doubt that this year's club chartering process is way different, leaving some confused and others without a club. We go to Clara with the latest details on the status of our clubs and why some were left behind.
Because of declining enrollment and a desire to relieve club advisors of an overwhelming amount of work, ASB has begun to institute new regulations for clubs this year. But what does this mean for smaller clubs? In previous years, to charter a club, presidents had to fill out mostly on-paper forms and submit them to the ASB offices with signatures of students claiming they would be members of the club. This year, ASB has added to these requirements as well as transitioning the charter process online.
I'm one of the organizers of Students for Club Reform, specifically Arcadia High School Students for Club Reform. It's this organization of me and a few other prominent student leaders who are parts of different clubs and such, and we want to help out the unchartered clubs, and we also want to ensure that clubs are getting good representation, whether they're chartered or not chartered.
As our student population declines, the amount of clubs we've had on campus has been steadily increasing. In an effort to eliminate similar clubs and focus on being properly advised and funded, ASB has chosen 49 clubs to operate this school year.
We're unable to meet in person. A lot of clubs can't really state too many of their activities in person, and a lot of competition clubs, we know especially, it's hard for them if their competitions are online.
Through criticism, Students for Club Reform has been made to ensure the voices of all clubs and insist on proper, just rules for the future of chartering clubs.
One of our main ways is Unchartered Clubs Day. We're trying to ensure that unchartered clubs are still able to advertise and reach people.
For unchartered clubs, don't lose all hope just yet. You can email the ASB Club Commissioner, Megan No, at 28168@students.ausd.net to appeal the decision through a formal email explaining the reasons why your club should be chartered. For now, this has been Clara. Back to you guys.
Wow, that was some deep insight into club chartering. If you would like to know more details about clubs, ASB is hosting their first ever virtual Clubs Day. Explore this extracurricular world at the link down below until 4 today. Hop on over right after watching our show.
Election day is right around the corner, and there are so many ballot measures to be informed on. Since the stakes are so high this year, it is important for the electorate to understand the current political situation. On this week's edition of Politicorner, Ian is here to tell us more about 3 major California propositions.
Welcome to this week's Politicorner, where we'll be going over Propositions 15, 17, and 24. Let's start with Prop 15. Back in 1978, California voters famously passed Proposition 13, a huge permanent tax cut for landowners. It amended the state constitution to reset property taxes based on the purchase price of a home or business, and capped how much the tax could increase each year after that. Currently, property owners pay the original price for the real estate they bought, but if this proposition passes, property taxes for many large businesses would be elevated to the current market value. That would net $6.5 to $11.5 billion, which would give 60% of the money to cities and special districts, and 40% for schools and community colleges.
California is it's the largest state in the country, obviously. It arguably is the 5th largest economy in the world, right? And so we have a lot of needs, and it's a very diverse state. So we're looking to, or the initiative is looking to increase some funds so that we can better serve our communities and our educational system.
Proposition 17 would allow people on parole to vote, meaning that if it is passed, California will become the 19th state to grant voting rights to parolees. California currently prohibits state prisoners and parolees from voting, but people serving their sentences in county jails can vote unless they are transferring to a state or federal prison, or if they are serving time for a parole violation. The prop also allows people on parole to run for office if they're registered to vote and haven't been convicted of perjury or bribery. Real Estate developer began advocating for consumer privacy in 2018 and pushed the legislator to pass a landmark data privacy law after hearing that people would be shocked at how much Google knows about the public. Prop 24 is put into place. It would allow people to tell businesses to limit the use of sensitive data, such as their exact location, health information, race, and religion.
It's meant to give more accountability and for some ways find a way to sue the companies.
With the election just 11 days away, I hope that any of you that are eligible will vote this year. This has been Ian. Now back to you, Kevin.
I know a lot of you are disappointed that you couldn't show off your costume at school this year. Trust me, I feel the same way too. I thought my Dwayne Johnson costume was going to make heads turn. If you're like me right now, ASB still has a way for you to show off your Halloween spirit. Submit a photo of your Halloween costume or your carved pumpkin to the ASB Instagram account by 2 p.m. on October 31st to enter the Halloween costume and pumpkin decorating contest. Winners will receive a $25 gift card courtesy of the competition's sponsor, PTSA. Have fun!
Even though Halloween is still going to happen this year, things just don't feel right. As a result of quarantine limiting traditional activities, we're left wondering whether this spooky holiday is going to have the same vibe. Let's head on over to Ethan to find the answer to this scary question.
Oh hey there, you caught me enjoying the water right before it gets too cold. Now with the end of summer comes fall, and with fall comes Halloween. Now your typical Halloween might be full of sweet scares and screams, but this year, it's going to be a lot different. With California still being under quarantine, the big question many thought was, how are we going to celebrate Halloween this year? The city of Arcadia announced what celebration activities would be deemed safe and unsafe.
Haunted houses, we're not going to approve those, and if we find out about those, we'll be forced to break them up. Just as a reminder, any gatherings of people outside of the household is still outlawed according to the county health order. So Halloween parties can't happen this year, but it is possible in the strictest sense to go door to door and do the trick-or-treating.
The city has also permitted the Santa Anita racetrack in hosting a drive-in movie theater on October 31st, playing movies throughout the night. So with these precautions in mind, ASB has decided to host a drive-through trunk-or-treat to celebrate Halloween safely.
We're going to be having students drive by a bunch of booths, and then we're going to be giving out candy, stickers, Halloween tattoos, and a thank you goodie bag from ASB. We are going to have all staff and get their temperature checked. They'll also be wearing gloves and masks the entire time. Some teachers want to bring things like tongs. One teacher suggested bringing a PVC pipe so they can just slide candies.
So no matter how you choose to celebrate Halloween this year, remember to do it safely. I'm gonna go build a candy cannon now, so if any of you guys see me during the holiday, you better look out. This has been Ethan, and back to Kevin and Lawrence in the studio.
Hey yo, I like your cut, G.
Thanks, dude. I got it from... Wait a second. Are you gonna slap my head like in that one meme?
I don't know. You tell me.
Dude, please don't slap my head. My scalp is very sensitive.
Well, you'll see when we go on break.
Hey, where are you going?
For our beloved Dodgers fans out there, it is that time once again. The Dodgers are heading back to the Fall Classic for the third time in 4 years, looking to end the 31-year championship drought and finally bring home the Commissioner's Trophy. Last week, the boys in blue fought all the way back from a 3-1 deficit to defeat the Atlanta Braves in a dramatic fashion thanks to the late-game heroics by last year's MVP, Cody Bellinger. Game 3 of the World Series will air tonight, so be sure to tune in as the Dodgers take on the Tampa Bay Rays once again.
An FBI investigation into the Los Angeles City Council has resulted in a long chain of accusations, arrests, and indictments. With one of the accused being a local corporation, this emerging issue may be even closer to our homes than you may think. Here's Ricky with how an Arcadia-based company is involved in this ongoing scandal.
As of 2 weeks ago, a Chinese subsidiary company called Jiayuan USA, located here in Arcadia, has agreed to pay over $1 million to resolve an ongoing criminal investigation case related to LA's City Council. Jiayuan USA was established by its Chinese parent company, Shenzhen Hazens, to redevelop the Lux City Center Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. However, after further investigation, it was found that the project illegally received help from former LA City Councilman Jose Huizar, who was indicted for various crimes such as money laundering, racketeering, and political corruption on July 30th of this year.
The case lays out a sordid tale of how Mr. Huizar and his cronies sold themselves to the highest bidder.
Huizar solicited and accepted more than $1.5 million in bribes from downtown project developers, including Jiayuan USA, who carried out Huizar's different requests in exchange for his approval and support of the Lux Hotel project. Now, over 3 months later, Jiayuan USA has come under a 3-year non-prosecution agreement executed on October 5th. Under this agreement, the company has agreed to pay over $1 million to resolve investigations into the bribe payments and will continue to cooperate with the FBI's political corruption probe. As this investigation continues, new revelations and discoveries may be made into the coming future. But for now, this has been Ricky reporting for APN.
Our nation is at a crossroads when it comes to our political future, and your voice now matters more than ever, especially with the presidency up for grabs. Therefore, APN wants to remind everyone to go vote or pre-register to vote. For more information on voting centers and mailing ballot drop-offs, go to the Arcadia Civic Youth Council's mini voting guide on their Instagram or head over to the website on your screen. Make your voice heard and go vote, everyone!
Although the pandemic has devastated the seasons of high school sports, there's still something to look forward to. As esports emerges into the mainstream, the world of CIF is about to get some action. Let's go to Kevin with the latest updates.
With the popularity of the competitive video games rising, the esports universe has been showing a new trend of being adopted by our pop culture and has gained some attention in the educational institutions. The topic of high schools incorporating the esports competitive scene had been brought up in many discussions over the past few years. The CIF Executive Committee also took notice of this new type of environment and began their exploration of the world of gaming in 2017. It was not until the end of 2019 when they partnered up with PlayVS and started the first CIF esports tournament series.
We think esports is a good opportunity for student athletes or students on campus to get involved. Basically, what our role was to kind of look at all the platforms out there, look at the games that are offered, look at what's good about esports, look at what's bad about esports, and build a program that was most beneficial to students in our schools.
The CIF committees also believe that having esports in schools can be beneficial for the players. For example, playing on an esports team will help students experience a team environment and add to their personal development. Players will also have the opportunity to receive scholarships and gain exposure in the professional world of esports. And for some students, that is exactly what they think.
I've always wanted to be like a pro gamer. I've always watched Pro League of Legends and seeing that how they compete to be the best team in the world. So now that CIF is in esports, I feel like the opportunity is even closer than ever.
For more information about CIF esports, you can check out the link on the screen. This has been Kevin. Stay safe, stay strong, and keep on vibing.
Hey Kevin, I heard you have some rap skills too. Why don't you show them off?
Alright dude, hit it! I hop on my PC, I open my game, call up the boys cause we bout to win. The name is Kevin and I ain't no simp. I ain't no simp.
Kevin.
Yeah?
We're kind of running out of time, so we're gonna have to stop there. I'm totally not cutting off your rap skills because I'm jealous of them.
Bruh.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching this week's show. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow all of our social media accounts in the description down below.
Also, a big thanks to Sesame Grill for sponsoring this week's show. Be sure to mention Arcadia High for 10% off your next meal there. If you would like to sponsor one of our weekly shows, contact us at the email down below. This has been Kevin.
And this has been Lawrence. See you next week, Arcadia.